back with part 2 with Lauren. So
Stay tuned to see what else we had to talk about from a woman. I would call her like a business guru. She's
yeah,
pretty brilliant with her business stuff. She gave us some little tips about life and business in general. So keep watching.
Yeah, we like that's what we want to give to our clients, and that's a big part. And then the other part would be, managing your team and building a culture that people where they want to work. Because I mean, again, there's data out about how much time you spend with your family versus how much time you spend with the people you work with.
That's true.
And we actually recently started doing a lot of like little get-togethers outside. And just last night we went to Bingo Loco.
I saw your little
Oh.
stamp on your hand, and I wanted
Oh.
to bingo so
That's so
bad.
embarrassing. I was at the club last night.
I
At the
saw
club.
bingo logo everywhere. How was it?
Oh, it was wild. It was.
Oh.
I mean, bingo's fun.
Yeah,
Period. So
but
how
wasn't
could
it,
you
like,
even make
low
bingo more fun?
light, like
Oh no, it's like a
crazy?
rave.
Yeah.
And it's a very inappropriate at times. I'll tell you guys about it later.
Yeah.
But it was like you didn't want to win.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you were like, I don't want to yell bingo. All
Throw
of
your
us.
bingo
Oh yeah,
card
throw
in
your
other
bingo
people.
card because the stuff that they were making the winners do on stage. Oh man, those people, I don't know if they were drunk. I did not drink last night because I knew I was coming here, but I learned my lesson. And but I was like, oh my God, I don't even know. They had this like twerk off. And I mean, I can twerk in my house
Yeah.
in front of my, actually I can't twerk. I watched a video on it and my lower back hurt for like 3 weeks.
I actually try to twerk as badly as possible. I think the
It's
worse
so
you can twerk,
hard.
the better.
I'm just too white because I cannot twerk.
It's hard. No, but there was a white girl teaching the video on YouTube, and I was like, okay. And her bum wasn't that big. I was like, my bum's not that big. I can do this. They were saying it's all in your lower back,
Yeah.
and
The arch.
yeah, it was rough. I mean, like my back hurt for a couple weeks. Like it was. I'm never doing that again. Like I'll just do something else.
No,
I don't know.
Do not try twerking videos. God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was awful. But yeah, these people were on stage twerking, and I'm talking about people who I mean, I think I could probably, even if I was sore for 2 weeks, have done a better job than them. And their little hearts, like it was just so wonderful
Aw.
seeing people that were enjoying life.
Yeah.
I guess, and I don't know if they were wasted or not, but that was the best thing about Bingo Loco is feeling the energy and being happy. Like, in a regular bingo hall when somebody else yells bingo and you're like, mother trucker.
Yes.
Everyone's mad.
They like look at it. It's always like the same person.
Yeah.
It's the same person with all their little lucky charms and then
Oh.
all their little daubers.
Markers.
All their
They-
daubers, and then they
yeah.
have probably like 20 cards,
Yeah.
rainbow cards on the
I can't even keep
electronic.
track of like the one that they give you.
Oh, I did
get
the
so
electronic one,
distracted.
and I'm like, why is it beeping like that?
I
Yeah.
cannot do the electronic one because I would fall asleep. We went and all of us got paper, but one girl, she got the digital one, and I think she was about to pass out. Like it was so boring because she's just staring at those cards.
Oh yeah, I think I sometimes do the dauber, but no, we do the electronic because I don't want to mess out.
Yeah.
But yeah, but so
I definitely, if I were to win, it wasn't going to be that night because I did not, and I'm 100% sober, and I try, but like I get so distracted.
Yeah, no.
I'm like,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
what number are we on?
oh
like,
yeah,
my ADHD kicks
Yep.
in,
Oof.
and now I'm talking, and oh shoot, they called another 3 numbers.
That's why you get the electronic one, and then you just sit there
Yeah,
and you're
that's why
like,
you get
oh.
the
But then you
electronic
get in
one,
trouble
yeah.
because now I'm talking even more.
Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, yeah, no talking. But yeah, so that was one thing about Bingo Loco is everybody was so happy when other people won, and there was a lot of women there. So like, it was a lot of like women supporting women. It wasn't like, oh, she's twerking, she's being so nasty on stage. It was like, yeah, get
Go,
nasty,
girl.
yeah, get real. Oh, they were,
Yeah.
oof, they were doing some
So I've
things.
never even heard of this. Where is this?
It was at Area 15, and that was my first time I had
Okay.
ever been there, and it was rad.
They were
inside.
advertising it for a little while, so I don't think it's something that they do.
No, I think it's
regularly.
not a troop
Yeah.
that goes. I think it's like a company that
circus
goes
troupe.
around. Yeah, it was really
It is, 'cause
rad.
I was seeing it for a while, so I think it was like,
They need to have it regularly.
yeah, they should.
Yeah, they should have it regularly, especially at a place like Vegas. Vegas, London, Barcelona would be
Yeah.
nice. Because And it was nasty. You had to be 21. It was so much
Which I think
fun.
you have to be 21 here to play bingo anyway.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. You had to be 21 because there was, but there was some like older people there, and they looked miserable.
Aw.
Like it was, and they ended up leaving
Because they
it
didn't,
was-
they probably play bingo like regularly, and this was like, oh, this looks fun, and then they got there and it wasn't
Oh,
quite.
it
No,
was
I saw
not
the
fun.
advertising for it, and I
It
knew
looked
it was gonna be
wild.
like a party.
Well,
like,
maybe they didn't
yeah.
see the advertising. Maybe they just seen a sign that doesn't really.
Yeah,
tell
I'm not
you
sure what
anything.
happened there, but
Yeah.
we
You
were
know?
like this. I mean, I've never seen people that look more upset and miserable in their lives.
I mean, usually bingo's quiet and chill, and if it's
This one was
chaotic
like-
and you don't realize that, you just see a sign that says, "Oh, there's bingo here tonight."
Oh, it
you
was
had
so
to
fun.
pay for
No,
it
you had to
in
pay.
advance. Yeah,
You had to,
like,
you had to, like it was
tickets.
buy in advance.
Yeah.
Like you had to buy tickets, and
Yeah.
I was asking some friends. I was like, you guys should come out with us tonight, and it was all sold
sold
out.
out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun though. But we're
Oh, team building is basically.
oh,
what
so
you're
yeah, we
talking
went
about.
team building. Yeah. So the other part of that is recognizing people. So I never wanted to be recognized when it growing up in my business. Like I get a little bit, even when you guys were like, oh, let's go talk about your business. I was like, I don't really like people. I don't like
The spotlight.
yeah, I don't like the spotlight. I like talking, and but like about being successful, like that is a little bit harder for
Is
me.
it more like the people recognizing you, like putting you
Yeah,
on the
I don't
spot?
need it. Yeah, I just never needed it. I never needed somebody to tell me I was doing a good job.
It's hard. So
Yeah.
I struggle with it because I don't know how to react. Am I
yeah.
am I
Okay, so you
reacting?
feel the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just got like employee of the quarter or whatever.
Oh,
I don't know.
would
This is a
die.
whole
I
new
would die.
this is a whole new program thing
Yeah.
that they're starting to launch, and I was the one that got it. And like they sent me
Aw.
this belt. Just wait, I'm gonna
Oh,
take
a belt. Yeah.
it's like a UFC belt kind of thing, and
Oh,
it's super
that's
cool.
cute.
So like basically, it gets passed on to the next person every
Oh, that's
quarter, which is
cute.
really really cool. It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
But like they told me it was me, and I'm the first one, and this is like the first time this is happening, and I'm just sitting there like, thanks.
Because you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I just don't
It
know how
doesn't-
to react.
Thank you.
I'm not. It's not that I don't appreciate it. I
No.
appreciate it. I love being recognized. Like I do work really hard, and it is nice to be recognized. But at the same time, I don't really need like a
Yeah, that-
External
Yeah.
validation.
yeah.
So, but most people do.
yes.
So I've learned that, and because a lot of times with businesses, you'll only really talk to somebody when they're doing something wrong.
yes.
Like you don't go out of your way every day, like when they're doing something right, be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, girl, you're doing it right." That just doesn't happen. That's not natural. We're doing a million other things.
Yeah.
We're not going out of our way unless they're doing something wrong. So these people are just. So we've definitely changed that. I have a lot of team members who have worked for me for years. And so we've started also to recognize that. In fact, I had one yesterday, and it was her 8th anniversary. And, and for her to finally be recognized just for that, just for being with me for 8 years, like that loyalty relationship. So that is, taking care of your customers, but also taking care of your team members is also equally as important.
Mhm.
You have unhappy team members, you will have unhappy clients, period. And that is just, so those are kind of the two main things. And then everything else you'll just can be figured out, figure outable. Everything can be, figure outable. And, so we really, but the team building is so fun.
Oh yeah, it is. So we the first team building I did. So I have to go to LA because that's where our
The
office
company
is.
is, yeah.
Everyone's there but me. And so I go there for team building. Everyone, like, I think, what did I do? It's twice now. We're trying to do it a couple times a year. Anyway, the first one we did a escape room, and if you haven't done one with
Oh.
the team yet,
So fun.
oh my god, it's so fun. So
They're
fun.
really hard. Like I thought, oh, this is gonna be so easy. Like I'm smart.
I'm so smart.
I'm so smart.
There
You're
was
so
sometimes
smart.
I was like, guys, we are like numbers people. We're an accounting and
Oh.
money management firm, and like there was sometimes they weren't understanding the numbers, and I figured out like a number, and like they're like, how'd you get that? And I tried to explain it, and like they're like, I don't understand where you get
No.
it, and it's just so funny to watch all of us have different skills and how everything comes together because like I figured that one out, but like somebody else figured out the next one, and then somebody figured out the next one, and like it was just cool to watch how you come together as a team and
Yeah, and
actually
use your-
like
yeah.
get out. Because
I don't know. Did you guys escape?
oh yeah,
Oh, good for you.
with like
we
a
did.
minute left.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
we escaped
yeah,
too, but it was hard.
It was like a prison one, and we had to crawl out this little tunnel to get
That's
out.
fun. It's so fun.
And then so my boss, so he owns the company, and he found another one that I guess is like kind of like you're a drug dealer
oh, perfect.
or something.
That's
like
actually
that.
they
I
have
was like,
amazing
that's so
distribution
cool.
supply chain. I think
Yeah.
drug dealers are like
It's
it's
a
a
hustle.
business.
It's a
No,
business.
like well, those are the hustles down at the bottom.
Yeah.
The hustle's down at the bottom, but they also do the law of reciprocity where they're handing out a little
It
something.
is. It's a
something.
full grown business.
It's a full grown business, and I think all the time I'm like, man, if these people actually put their energy into real businesses, like they'd probably be so successful.
Mhm.
And actually, if they just pay taxes, they're not going to get caught. You know, I mean, it's if they just pay their taxes, like they won't be on the radar for anything. But yeah, that's amazing. Drug dealers are, I mean, that's salespeople, hustlers.
I was like, just let me know when I'll be out there to do that escape room because that's
so
so much
fun.
fun.
It's so fun. The escape rooms
That was
are
probably
fun.
my favorite. But yeah, we've only done a couple so far, but it's huge. It's huge in like bringing that almost togetherness with like your work family.
Yeah, your work family, because when you're at work, it's stressful. And I mean, we've even had times where, you know, team members aren't getting along and we do something. I love bowling. So we go bowling and we're just all together and it's so different. You can see people for them and not for what position they are or
The
not for what
stress
they're
of the
not doing.
work is not there, so everyone can just be themselves.
Yeah, it's really nice. And, you know, it's not super stressful at work. We try to make it not stressful at work, although,
I think the friction comes more like when you're doing a job that affects someone else, and then now you got a little bit of friction based off of that, or like there's ego gets in the way.
ego gets in the way.
Things like that where you lose that when you're out somewhere doing something totally unrelated. Now there's no ego. I worked previously at it was a mortgage company, and there was friction between me and another person, and it was mainly just because like I didn't feel like she was doing enough to contribute, and I felt like I was doing more than I should have.
That's
been.
usually what it is. When you feel like
Yes.
you're doing more than the other person.
And then which typically I do. That's just my personality.
Yeah.
I always do more than I probably should.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's just me. But I do get irritated when somebody isn't pulling their weight.
Yeah.
And we did, so they actually ended up doing mass layoffs and laid our whole team off. And we actually, before that happened, planned a girls' trip. Because most of our team was girls, except for the two managers.
Yeah.
The rest of us were all girls. And so we were planning a girls' trip, all of us to meet up. And, you know, we're from all different states because we're all remote.
Oh,
So
fun.
we all met in Phoenix. And me and the girl that had the friction actually sat down and had a conversation about it.
Oh, good.
And like, although we didn't work together after that, but like still we had that conversation and discussed the things that were an issue. And that's not something you would do in the work environment.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's really, yeah, because you feel, yeah, I don't know if it's like the energy or what it is, but it's just so much better when you start really meeting these people and seeing them for, you know, them, and you know that we're all messy, like you say, there's all so much stuff that's going on in people's lives, and you know, and we try to have them, like when they come into work, one of our things is, you know, there's the waterfall. Like you walk in and there could be so many things going on, but let's like go through the waterfall and have them all wash away when you get here, so that, I mean, because if we let all the outside stuff affect what happens when we go into our office, it would be a lot. I mean, we're all going through something. Everybody is, and it's hard. And but that's good for our employees. I feel like we've created a good enough culture that, and it could always be better.
I feel like that's a huge weight for a business owner too, is the people that are basically running your business. I mean, you have all of these employees under you, and like you have to not only make sure that they're happy, that they're doing a good job, that everything is running exactly how you want it. Like, that's so much weight.
Oh, it's a lot of weight. Weight, and it weighed on me for a long time, but now I'm able to separate myself finally from by putting my value on the success of my business or the happiness of my employees, or the happiness of my customers. I remember when, I don't know if you guys get reviews, but like some of these reviews are just, I mean, they used to throw me into not like a depression, but it was awful. Like somebody would give me a bad review, and I don't know, it'd take like 3 days to recover, if not more.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't shake it.
You actually have a
cannot
great
shake
example.
it.
You should definitely talk about that.
Yeah, we have. Well, I mean, just briefly, not to go into
Yeah, not too
I was
much
like,
detail.
you should go
we
into
did.
detail.
We had a client, and it's like you're saying. I think in the beginning we would get bad reviews, and it would feel devastating.
Devastating. That's the word.
Because
Devastating.
In my job, and I'm sure it's the same thing for you, you never go in and half-ass it. Like, you're doing your best, you're giving your best, but there are some people that they're just not going to be happy with what you provide. And in the beginning, I would take it so personal.
Oh,
like,
so
my God,
personal.
like you can't sleep at night. You're
No.
just thinking about the review, and you're like, oh my God, other people are going to judge me based off this review, judge the business based off this review. And we had a situation pretty recently where there was just the expectation,
Whew, I can even see your nervous system going a
the
little
expectation
crazy.
Well,
was
it's like people
completely
walk
different.
in with like an expectation based off of a photo, like we were talking about
Yeah.
social media, and then they have none of those same
Qualities,
If
yeah.
you have hair to here,
So
and
yours
you
is a
have
great
12,
example. You have short hair, and then you come in and you say you want blonde highlights like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
And
We can only do so much in one session. And we will
Oh, for
always be
blonde, I
very-
think you're, for
we'll
blondes, yeah.
always be very upfront, honest about our pricing, about expectations,
Yeah.
all of that. And we got a bad review over somebody that was not happy with the results. And one thing I'll say, I have no problem making adjustments for somebody if I feel like there's something that could have been done differently.
Better, yeah.
But if you start cussing at me or my assistant or being that kind of way, no, I do not ever want you to come back in my business. You're never welcome back in my
Never.
business, especially when you're attacking somebody that works for me. Like, I can take it. I'm a big girl. Like, I can handle this. I can brush it off. But she had a hard time with it for a
Oof,
while.
yeah.
She still, if you bring it up, she gets so like stressed out about it. I'm like, girl, you're gonna get the bad. It's easier for somebody to leave a bad review than it is to leave a good review.
well,
Way easier. Oh, no,
having
they do it, yeah.
your employees back is huge because if they understand that, you've shown that's something that's going to make them more dedicated to their
yeah.
job and doing a good
Yeah.
job, and
Oh,
everything
yeah, when you
else
have
kind
their
of
back,
flows.
yeah.
Yeah,
because
if there's something you did wrong, we can address that. But somebody coming into this business and attacking somebody that I stand behind her work and what she did, no, we're not going to do that. And I'll handle it in the most professional manner possible.
Until you can't.
And then talk
I've
shit
lost
later
it,
on.
yeah. No, I've lost it on people.
Yeah.
I've lost it. Again, so bad reviews in the beginning was just heartbreaking for
Yes.
me. But now it's either one of two things. Either A, we can grow from it
Yeah.
because like we messed up. I'd
You
be
can
like,
learn
"Oof,
from a bad review. Yeah.
we sure can. Or you can take the opportunity to reply to the bad review, and you don't reply to the person who wrote the bad review. You're replying to the people who are reading
Yes.
it and that are your potential clients. And when I learned that, I was like, ooh, this is a great opportunity for me to show how we actually do business, how we are professional. Because before you just want to be like, bleep, bleep, bleep.
You were a raging
bleep,
blah,
bleep.
blah, blah.
Bleep,
it's just like being on Facebook and being
Yeah.
a troll. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This
what I
is
really wanted to do.
happened.
Yeah,
you
this
have
is what
3
really-
hairs, and I couldn't blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, you had 3 hairs, and no, I can't make them blonde because they're gray or something. Yeah, no, that's
Falling
exactly.
off.
Oh, you
Yeah.
should have. I mean, like one of them is like, the photographer made me look fat, but even though I am a size 23, like literally, it's still on there. And it's like,
You can't change the way someone looks. It's qualities that you have. It's nothing that you can do with your camera.
they should have made me look better. So, I don't know. It's some of it is like, I mean, some of it. Oh,
Diet
I
and
had a lady.
exercise.
I had a lady who was like, you didn't tell me that you, she had a white background, and she said, you didn't tell me that you couldn't Photoshop me into a different background when I booked. And I said, yeah, because I don't tell you everything that it doesn't come with when you book. I don't say, do you want to Photoshop? Here's what we cannot do for you. And then list and rattle off that. Like, it's just, some of it is just absolutely
it's
ridiculous.
asinine,
It's
and you're
asinine.
the people that I want to have patron my business, I'm hoping if they read that, they'll be able to read it from a perspective of this is completely
wild.
ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
I will say, if I look at something and I'm looking at bad reviews, I look at the responses. That matters.
Oh yeah, that matters.
Yeah.
No, the responses are super important. And now with ChatGPT, you can put in. I used to have to pay somebody to respond.
Yeah.
And but now
take
you
the
can.
personal
Oh, it's so perfect
away.
because you just add this.
You can
and-
literally copy and paste the bad review and just say, please write a prompt
response that
response.
includes this, and this,
Yep.
and it's wonderful because it needs to happen. You need to respond to all of them. I need to go check mine because it really is hard when people, especially, I don't know if you guys deal with this, but sometimes we have people who can't believe they have to pay for stuff. Like, it's like, oh, well, you didn't say that we had to buy the pictures, or, and it's like, actually, we did. We made it super clear what it comes with and what it, like, because we don't like to hide our prices. We don't want people to not to not know that they have to pay. Like, we actually do work really hard. And
be
will you hide your
transparent.
prices? And it's like, well, here, I'm going to copy and paste this from my website.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. You know, it's really, really hard. It's so hard. I feel like a lot of
people get that they don't have to.
so for me, a lot of my bad reviews had to do with people who had experience with other photographers and assumed that our pricing structure was
Would
the
be the
exact
same.
same. That was a lot of things. Well, my photographer would give us all the images. Well, I mean, go if you like that,
Why don't
and
you go with that
go with that photographer who gives you goes. We never said that we did.
Yeah.
You know, and in fact, just the opposite. We said it comes with this, this, and this. So that, I think that was a lot. It's expectations, and I think Tony Robbins has a great quote: "Is trade your expectations for gratitude, and your world changes." And I think just in life, expectations are just something. I mean, in a relationship and business and parenting and your everyday life, if you don't have expectations, then and gratitude, and instead, it's like it's just really changes, and that's most. I mean, they get really upset because their expectation is that they are going to receive this.
I think a lot of people have problems communicating their expectations too. So like, there's no communication before anything happens, and then they come there with this expectation that they never even expressed to you, that you have no idea.
Yeah, and they think that you can read their mind.
Yeah.
Or unrealistic
Yeah.
expectations where you're like, I'm being forthright with you and
Yeah.
letting you know. Because I think there's a due diligence as a consumer as well. If you're concerned, like you're going to a new photographer, it's like, what all does my
Package
what-
come with?
yeah, what does it
what does
include?
this come with?
And if I wanted all images, what would be the, like, I feel like as a consumer, those are things that I ask. I want to know what I'm getting. I'm very upfront with my clients about this is the starting price for this, but if you want to add this, it's this much. And if you want to add this, it's this much.
Yeah.
Like, but
Or
as
like
a
even as
consumer-
simple as like an extra bowl for more hair, because
Yeah.
I always have an extra bowl. That's how
yeah, and people will ask,
Oh, so you
there's
have a lot of
different things where people ask, like, how much exactly is it going to cost me? And I'm like, well, we can discuss it when you come in. I can't give you an exact
Amount,
quote
yeah.
because I haven't done your hair. I don't know what we're doing. But I think there is a lot of unrealistic expectations. And I think that reviews, like, it's a great thing where you can actually go on there, but I don't know if you dealt with it like Yelp. There was a lot of stuff when I first opened my first salon with Yelp where like they would push bad reviews, they'd hide your good reviews, and
Oh,
then
they make
they'd
you
reach
pay
out
for
to you
them.
and want
Yeah.
you to pay.
So I paid for Yelp for a very long time. That was my $300 budget.
Yeah.
And one time, this lady called us cunts. You can bleep it out, right? She literally called us cunts.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday on our review. And I never asked them to take off my reviews because I know that they won't, right?
Yeah.
They just won't do it. And I said, hey, this one, like she's using profanity in her review.
Yeah.
Because she said that because she didn't want to pay. This is, yeah. And she called us cunts. And then she said, Yelp said, well, we allow people to use colorful language.
Oh.
And I said, because I said it was inappropriate for a children's photography studio.
Yeah.
Which it is.
Like we were like a dispensary.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, okay, like that's appropriate, whatever. But we're a children's family photography studio. I would rather the word "see you next Tuesday" not be in our review. And they said that they were allowed to use colorful language. I said, oh, well, you guys like colorful language. Fuck you. I'm pulling my marketing dollars.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that was it. And I never advertised with them again. And it just like, it's so frustrating. Google is better with their reviews. But the thing about Google is when you respond to a review, you can actually, you're putting in all those keywords. So it's actually so great. Like even bad reviews and nothing. So when you flip your mindset on, hey, these reviews actually help me, good. Even if they're bad, they will help you because then you can put a whole bunch of keywords in their response and they will help you. And I think my biggest hurdle with bad reviews though is not punishing, not having, you get that, all of a sudden you kind of like, not hate people. I don't want to go that far. It sucks.
It sucks.
You don't want to like not like your clients because I'm like, oh my God, I had 99 amazing clients.
Yep.
And I think this is like in life too. You have 99 good experiences with your husband, whatever. And then there's that one client experience and it just ruins everything.
Else. Yeah.
Everything else.
And that's what the girl she was talking about who I work with, Avery, she was like, it's so bad because our rating was this and now it's this.
Oh,
and
when you're
people
so
see it,
tied
and I'm
to
like,
that.
Girl.
Oh, girl,
listen.
my rating went into the yellow.
Oh.
Like they changed my color and
Yeah.
I was like heartbroken.
Yeah, and you have to learn to let it go because it's like I would drive myself crazy when we first started. And then
Crazy.
there were times where like, and this is why I hated Yelp. Sorry, Yelp. I
think we all hate Yelp.
where people
Every
Look,
business.
here's your face.
we had reviews of people who
I
had
do.
never, they were like fake reviews. You've never been to my salon. I can't even show that you ever got a service here and you're bad mouthing me. I don't know. You could be, another hairstylist. You could be something.
Oh, we've had other
Whatever it
photographers. You can get court orders for those. I had to get a court order.
Really, because there was one that was
that's illegal.
terrible, and it was like you haven't ever been to our salon. I don't even know who you are. And you're writing this review.
No, they can't. There are laws against it,
Uh-huh.
so you can protect yourself. If they've never been to you, you can protect. They cannot. They cannot.
That's what I submitted to Yelp, like flagged, like, hey, this person has.
Oh, they don't
this
care.
is not a real review.
This is why
we allow
everyone-
people, blah blah blah, and it's
Yeah.
like,
I hate Yelp.
Everyone should just not use Yelp because it's
Yelp.
stupid. Like,
why
would you-
it's extortion.
It's
I'm sorry,
messed up.
I feel like
Extortion.
it's
Yeah.
extortion.
That's what it
and
is.
Blackmail.
It's extortion.
Yes.
People are like, well, if you don't give me this, I'm going to write a bad review.
If you don't give me a refund, I'm going to write a bad review.
No, so what we
well,
say,
and then
we
on
say
top
that
of
that's
it, they
extortion.
push
Yes.
Yeah.
So Yelp will push the bad
The
reviews
bad
and
reviews,
make you pay for them.
so that you'll pay.
And the first time I
oh,
experienced that, I worked at a automotive repair,
yeah,
and he got like this notice to like pay for his good reviews, and
Uh-huh.
it was like, what?
yes,
That was like the first time
Yes.
that like I'd ever seen that. Yeah, you have to pay for them, or
Yes.
they'll only show you the bad
the
reviews.
bad ones. They'll push the. Good
I
ones.
never heard that.
They
Yeah.
have hidden, like, if you go to people's pages, you'll see like it'll have the suggested reviews, which will be good or bad or whatever, and then it'll say like you can see the hidden reviews, and typically,
Oh, and some of them they're real reviews.
Yes.
Yeah, why do they do that?
because
Because
they
they
want
want
you
you
to
to pay for
pay.
So
I
that's why,
talked
like,
to somebody
I always
from Yelp that was like, because that issue where we had the fake review, and it bothered me so much
Yeah.
because the things that were being said, it was like, oh, my hair was falling out, and I was like, what? You've never been to my salon, like,
Oh yeah,
and
that's-
I was so I talked to somebody at Yelp, and they were like, well, you can pay where your good reviews are pushed to the top, and
No.
you have control of the order of your photos that are appearing and how people find you and where you are in the search. And I was
just
like,
use Google.
so
yeah.
this is extortion.
It's extortion, but it's also extortion from your clients.
Oh,
you know,
for
there's
sure.
an extortion from Yelp, and then there's
I feel
extortion
like
from
that's
clients.
more blackmail, where
Or
it's like,
blackmail,
if
yeah.
you don't give me
This, I'm gonna write a
or
review.
do my hair again or whatever, I'm gonna write a bad review. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, if you're trying to blackmail, I am fully transparent with my clients,
Yeah.
right? Whatever review you want,
Yeah, please
I'm
do
not going to. If we've used products and we've used time, now it's something. If you've done something out like bad to your client, you've damaged their hair, you've done something like that, then of course, like, come in, let's have a conversation.
Like,
What can
yeah,
I
you
do
would
for
want
you?
to if you
But
if you
because
did it for
don't
real.
like
Yeah,
that you didn't get light enough, I'm not giving you the time and money was spent to do your hair. I'm
Mhm.
not giving you your money back because you're threatening to put a bad review
No.
up. Put the bad review up.
But well, so we tell them, you know, you're entitled to.
Mhm.
That's your right
Yeah.
as a consumer, as an American consumer,
Yeah.
to put up your thing. However, if there's anything in there that's not true, it goes straight to our legal team. And since you've brought it up, we use the word extortion.
Yeah.
Since you've already tried to extort us by telling you to give us this and to that, this is automatically going to our legal team, and make sure that everything is true and accurate. Because if it's not, we will send you a cease and desist.
Yeah.
And we will sue you for that's the word. And it's super easy. Normally they won't do it because what they are going to
Usually
say
it's like
is not true and accurate.
Slander and defamation.
Yeah, and it is, and it's like this is not a joke. This is our business.
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody threaten to do a bad review that wasn't part of your business? It was a different matter that you were dealing with them, and they're like, "Well,
So
I'll do that."
I had-
because my husband's
Yeah.
had that, selling like
Yeah.
cars and stuff. Like, he's had people like threaten to like leave a review on his real estate page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they are not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So the court order that I got against the people to take down the stuff was a lady who came in and was the worst client we've ever had in our entire life. Like, she made one of my strongest people, who I never would think cry hard. So then my manager came in. She's like, I'll deal with her. She comes back into the room and she's crying. And this person, nobody ever like prepays for a year shoot. Like, that doesn't happen. She bought like a $1,500 gift card to like prepay. So I said, look, here's your money back. Like, we're not a good fit. Like, you got a $1,500 refund. We don't refund usually for anything. Like, we are
would
just
rather give you the money back than have to deal with you and my people.
No, there
dealing
was
with
no
you.
way. She literally made them cry.
Yeah.
And these are strong women. It wasn't like sensitive ones that are being more.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you had
Yeah.
like the manager, like, "Oh, I'll go deal with
Oh,
this."
she was like,
Obviously,
"I'll
she
do
went
it."
into it like, "I can handle it."
Oh, it was like I couldn't even. I've never seen this lady cry in my life. Actually, the two of them, I've never seen them cry, ever. And so they were crying, and so I decided to obviously not have her. And she ended up suing me. And she had all her friends write bad reviews on our Yelp. And she, that Nextdoor app?
Yep.
She was going and like writing, and so it was going out to all the neighborhoods. She would like make accounts for different neighborhoods so that it got like
There are people that
all
will
the.
go
I
to
mean, she went out of
How
her
much
way.
time do you have on your hands?
They go to extreme lengths to like terrorize you. Honestly.
Oh, she couldn't believe that we fired her. So when we went to court, it was like they were just basically like, I don't understand what you want, because
She
like
gave
she
you the
already
money
gave
back.
you her money back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you want?
Retribution.
And she was like, well, I want my newborn photos. And because we had done our newborn photos. And I said, I'd be more than happy to give them to her, but she's going to have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to give them to her.
Yeah.
Like, she has
Yeah.
to pay for her service. And this was all over a Winnie the Pooh. It was like a Winnie the Pooh teddy bear. Its head was like tilted a little bit cocked instead of straight on. But then you could see their eyes because we had some pictures with the straight on so that the photographer cocked it just a little bit so you could tell that it was Winnie the Pooh. Oh, wild. Like, this was just like wild. We ruined her life because the head was cocked.
Oh my god.
Oh, people are crazy. So basically, she tried to sue me, and the judge was like, "What? This is what do you
Ridiculous.
want? Yeah, what do you want?" And in the end, it ended up the court order was against her to stop harassing
Yeah.
us and to take down all the reviews.
Yeah.
And if she ever spoke publicly, then I could sue her,
Yeah.
and it was like a lot.
Yeah.
So that was great. So, I mean, there is stuff that you can do. People cannot just go on there. Normally, a cease and desist will take care of it.
Yeah.
And you can send that. ChatGPT will write that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it will, because anybody, you don't need a lawyer to send a cease and desist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just basically like, hey, you can't do this.
Yeah.
I know you can't do this. This isn't illegal. Stop it or else I'll sue you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all a cease and desist is.
Yeah.
If you don't stop, I will sue you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge thing that I think a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, they
Like,
think,
I
I
didn't-
got to get a lawyer, or
Yeah.
no, you don't. You just write it. Just make sure you email it to them, send it to them. You could write it in the review. I mean, in the response, if there's something that's ridiculous, like I sold this guy a car and he's writing a bad review on my real estate page, that's 100% illegal.
Yeah.
You just send a cease and desist, and they will normally take it off, or you can.
Yeah.
That's your step. Like, hey, you cannot do this.
It was a weird situation. So we sold like a camper van that it didn't have AC, and like they knew that. Everything was fully transparent. They started driving back to Colorado, and they called him or texted him or something and was like, "We want to return this." That's not how this works. Like,
Yeah.
like no, it's not like we hid anything or anything was weird. Like everything was fully transparent. They just wanted to return it, and when he said he was not gonna just return it, it's a used car, and you signed the title.
Yeah.
You know,
signed the
like-
title, yeah.
Like, we're not gonna refund this, and they were like, "We'll leave a review on your real estate page," and da 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 da, and like it was just like a whole thing. They never actually left the review, but
Oh, good. But if they ever did, then you would know.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be just careful. Like, people can't just do whatever they want. I think people started getting really mean around COVID.
yes,
Like, I don't know if it was maybe more scrolling and just, because that scrolling, I think, is making everybody feel inadequate.
I think it was the lack of interaction with people.
Lack of interaction, human connection.
Yeah, I think when we lose that connection, we lose that empathy that goes with dealing with people on a daily basis, and like that understanding, like of not being an a-hole.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
You
it's
know?
just everything got so much worse. Like, if there was like 10% of hard clients, I felt like it jumped to like 30. It wasn't even double. It was like a lot.
And people were more testy. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like people, like, their attitudes were different after COVID and coming back out and interacting with people. Everyone was just a little angry.
Yeah, there's a lot of divide too.
That
There
too,
was, I
big
think
divide.
that COVID really showed us how divided we all are on
Yeah.
our views.
Well, we made it to where people weren't supposed to have another opinion. Like,
No,
that was
yeah,
the
no.
problem. If you had another opinion, I don't like you. Which shouldn't be the case. I should be
No.
able to sit down with you and have a complete.
Yeah.
I mean, half the time on our podcast, me and you have different opinion. I mean, she called me out for about to start my period on the last one.
Yeah.
yeah,
that's okay to have
Somebody
different.
chose
She's
to be
like-
aggressive
She's like,
today.
you're about to start, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
But like, you
Everybody's
should be able to.
entitled to their own opinion. It's when you start attacking other people for not believing the same way that you believe. Like, you're entitled to believe or feel whatever you feel, as am I. But I'm not going to attack you for that. And I
But
think
they
people
are
got very
attacking.
comfortable
They're
with
separating
attacking.
themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's the problem. I mean, people are just getting like, why would we want only friends that believe the same exact thing as? Why would we want
Really
people that
boring.
were the same
Boring.
exact
I
as
love
us?
a good debate.
Yeah.
I love to hear your perspective and talk about it.
I love it when me and you start going at it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like,
Like,
because we're not going at it, like, as in the sense of, like, hate or
Fighting,
anything.
yeah.
It's all out of just our opinions and us getting excited to express those opinions.
Yeah. Yeah, no, people are not able to do that as much anymore. It's just like, if you don't believe the same thing that I believe, then we can't be friends, and that's crazy. And I think it's just, people are just getting really, really angry, and they're taking it out on small businesses.
Which is messed up,
Or
because the
big
small
businesses.
businesses have to work so much harder to be successful, and then yet you take it out on the small business, but you'll buy everything from Amazon.
You'll go to Target
You know?
and be upset about stuff that you buy there and continue to go there and not write a bad review.
Yeah.
Or you go to like Lala or to my salon and you have one thing happen and it's like,
and it shows that they purposely want to hurt somebody, because if you're doing that to a small business and you're not doing that to corporations, you are trying to hurt somebody.
Oh yeah, well, those bad reviews, you can go look and click on their profile, and it's like, they don't have any good reviews. They just
write bad reviews for
That's all they
everybody.
do. Bad review bunny.
Yes.
That's like,
I say that all the time because I've clicked on a few and I'm like, they literally, like,
That's
it's
all
a
they
coffee
do.
shop where their coffee wasn't hot enough or it was not
too hot.
I'm not gonna lie, my favorite reviews to make are good ones. Like, if I'm excited when I leave somewhere, I'm so, like that burrito I talked about.
The
on
burrito.
Valentine's, I left them a good review.
Okay,
let me
good.
tell you.
Before you got here this morning, I literally was like, oh, because I had a client write a really great review and it was so beautiful and it just touched
Oh,
your
and
heart.
it was one she read off to me, and it was insane, the amount of time and like effort and expression that was
So
in
you
that.
can tell the client put into that, and it
What
literally
people don't know
moves you.
is what it does to you when you read them.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a business owner, like it feels good to have
Yes.
those like compliments almost when it
Yeah.
comes to that, and then it hurts
Ooh,
when
it
somebody
hurts.
leaves the nasty review.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
I guess, and it did. It used to hurt a lot. I'm definitely more of like, let's use this to our advantage now.
But you have a different mindset now than you did
now,
when you
oh
first
no,
started.
oh my God, before it was like pop a Prozac or something.
Yeah.
If somebody wrote a bad review.
There were times I wouldn't want to go. I'd be like, I don't want to go. What if I don't know how to do hair? What if
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not good
What
at
if
hair?
I'm
Like,
not
you
good
start
enough?
questioning
Oh,
everything.
That's
yeah.
another thing. A lot of people like immediately go to these negative reviews, but you do realize that everyone's human. Mistakes
I don't
happen.
think they realize that.
Somebody's
We have
learning
bad
a
days,
new
good
skill
days,
every single
yeah.
day, and you have to let them make mistakes in order to get better. And it might be like something super small, and somebody blows it up on a review and gives you a 1 star.
Oof. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, but I wish that I could give that gift to everybody, because it was really hard. Like, it was really hard. I think it was my business coach. And that's another thing. I had everybody in sports, there's coaches.
Mhm.
Everything has a coach.
I hired a coach for a bikini competition I'm working towards.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you need a coach.
Yeah.
So business people also need coaches.
Yeah.
Period. You need to have somebody that is telling you what to do and keeping you accountable. Because, I mean, being a business owner, you have to, or being an entrepreneur just in general, when you're your own boss, you got to have a lot of self-discipline. Everybody thinks, oh, it's so great to be your own boss. You're so lucky to be your own boss. I'm like, I am the hardest
Sometimes
boss.
It's nice to have people tell you
What
what
do I need to do? Sometimes I go in
Yeah.
my work and I'm like, okay, what do you guys need me to do?
Yeah.
Because I am done thinking. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to think anymore. I want to just have somebody tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And, oh, is it not good enough? Okay, perfect. Because otherwise I'm like, nothing's ever good enough. Or whatever
Or you keep
it is.
spinning your wheels and nothing's changing because you didn't think about this idea that somebody could help you think of to move to that next direction.
Yeah, I like collaboration. So a lot of bosses, just in general, at whatever level, it doesn't have to be the ownership level, they don't like to collaborate.
That's a difference between a boss and a leader.
Yeah. And I love to collaborate.
Oh, me too. I think it's
Yeah,
great.
it's like more minds, because we all think so different. Like, right, left, up, down. Like, we all think so different, and we're all in different situations. We're all do different things at work. So to get that collaboration is so important to me. And but then it also feels good to know that, okay, I have the last say. I mean, that does feel good. And sometimes I let my girls do stuff, and they're like, I want to try this out. And I'm like, this is not going to work, but you guys do it. And if it happened, there was one thing that I didn't think was going to work. And oh my God, it did. It was Target mini sessions with a little Target cart.
Oh.
And I was like, this is dumb. But because I don't like shopping,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Nobody's going to bring their kids in to do a Target.
Yeah, you forgot about the Target moms.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
They
I
would
really
actually
like
take their
Target
kids
so
to
much.
Target
Yeah.
to get
Get
coffee
their
and their
Starbucks
little
and then shop
Oh,
What is that?
Stanley's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
People
Yeah.
are- I don't get it. That I don't
I don't
get.
get it either. That's like your oh my god, why am I missing the word? Blue collar. That's a blue collar cup that made popular. They just changed the colors.
Oh, I don't know.
Damn. I didn't even know
son
it was
bought
that.
me
I don't
one.
know what it
it's
is.
literally
I had my son buy me one for Christmas, which was so sweet and thoughtful because he sees everybody with them, and that's honest to God the only Stanley I have is because he bought me one.
Well, does it stay cold all day?
It does.
That's what they say.
Hey, guess
That's what
what?
everybody tells me. It stays
But I
cold
don't
all
need
day.
more than one.
the knockoff ones at Walmart, by the way, which is
I'm sure they
I have
stay
one.
cold
It
too.
stays just as cold.
That's what I was going to say. I wonder, they should do a study. I bet there's studies on how cold it stays.
I can tell you, this one that I bought, I put ice in when we were camping, and it had ice for 3 days.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that is not, I'm going to start using that because everybody, when I say, oh, you got a Stanley, because I do make fun of people for having a Stanley. I feel like I can.
I don't even carry mine around with
Oh, it's
me.
embarrassing. Are you
myself.
embarrassed? I would be
I use
so
it for like
embarrassed.
camping or something to put coffee in. and
That
that's
would be
it.
different.
I'm
Like a thermos
Yeah.
Stanley would be different than the ones. I mean, sometimes I see those little, what is it, ASMR, where they're like tapping with their nails,
Yeah.
and they have like all these things
bows
now.
that go on top and charms and like
And the
stuff that you add
covers.
on to
You
it.
basically got a purse on your water
Well,
bottle.
yeah.
But you know what? I shouldn't judge people because whatever makes them happy. But why is that making you happy? That's the thing. But no, it doesn't matter because we shouldn't judge. Everybody has different things.
Yeah.
Stuff that make me happy, like the sound of an exhaust or something. People would be like, "That's so weird. Why is she like the
You
smell
could,
of
you
tires?"
could literally talk to my husband for like probably hours
Oh,
because
about
the
exhaust?
car.
just cars
Or
in
just
general,
cars.
anything.
Oh, I love cars.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
wish
get
you'd
enough
just
of
come
it.
take some of that conversation because
Off of you.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I could talk about cars all day. Like I love F1. I love F1, but that's another thing like that. So my success is to be able to be like, okay, I want to get tickets to F1.
Yeah.
Oh, my son wants ticket. Let's go. Oh, you want to go see it at Spa and go do that one? Like, yeah, let's go do it. Let's go get paddock passes at the Spa or Barcelona is coming up. Actually, I'll miss it. I think it's like June 2nd this year. Which I'll miss. I'll be in Barcelona June 1st. I was so bummed if I would have known because normally it's at the end of June, the Barcelona race. But yeah, I love cars. But that, so that's success to me is to be able to have freedom of choice. You didn't say what success to you is.
I don't know. I just like to stay busy. I really don't know.
You don't
I
know?
think I don't know.
Do you feel like you live in the moment?
Yeah.
You live a lot in the moment. I think that's
Yeah.
very
And
successful.
I'm always just kind of working towards the next thing. So I'd say success actually really never stops.
Oh, because you're a process person. So that's really important. Because it was hard for me in my own therapy journey as a person that had nothing to do with my business. So in your business, it's like you need to know your 5-year goals, your 3-year goals, your big goals, your little goals, and all this stuff. You got to work towards something. And that is setting an expectation. Unfortunately, when you set goals, you're setting an expectation. And then in my therapy, for my personal life, it was live in the moment, enjoy the process, don't have any expectations. So I've definitely struggled with those two concepts because being successful in business, I think means something a little different from being successful in life. But I feel like I've chosen to be successful in life over successful in business. And I've pulled back from my business a lot over the last couple of years because I got divorced and I realized, what was important to me because I've had that time to reflect and time with my children were very important. But I think that we can have both. That's the cool thing. And I've realized now that I don't have to, because I poured everything. We talk about my son being a soccer player. I remember one of his first seasons, I got to see a half of game on a Saturday. It was a Saturday before I saw half of a game before I had to leave. That's the only game I saw all season of my son play because I was working, because my business was number one. And so now I've switched my priorities and what's important to me. And definitely my family is number one. Myself is actually number one.
Which it should be. Because in order for you to be good for your family,
You have to
put
be good
yourself
for
first.
yourself. And that took me so long to realize. It felt so selfish to put myself first. And I still struggle with it. It's still, that's a process.
I think a mother always has that struggle, though, no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. But you do, like, the more you give to yourself, the more you give to your family. It's amazing, because even though I was physically there with my family when they were growing up, sometimes when I was, my mind definitely wasn't. My heart definitely wasn't. I was either just exhausted or thinking about what I could do next, for my business. It was never there. So when I started to take time for myself was the first time I could give more to my business. I could give more to my family. And that felt really good. But when definitely my business is down lower, and believe it or not, it's just as successful. Maybe a little bit less, but it doesn't make a difference. And
Did building your business and this the sacrifices you have to make lead up to like getting divorced?
oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, not the only reason, for sure.
Right, it's never going to be the only.
Yeah, not the only reason, but it played
definitely
a
played a
gigantic
part.
Huge part, because that was not my priority ever. My relationship was never my priority. I mean, if it was down with me, it was my business, my children. I don't even know what else, but it was.
But he was kind of like last priority then.
I wouldn't
Would
say
you say?
last priority. I would just say myself and my relationship was such a small, like, you can't even say like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I would look at it in like a pie. Like, my business took up a crap ton of that
Most of
pie. Most of my pie. And then my children took up that. And by the time that those two things, there just wasn't a lot left for anything. So maybe it would be great if he was third. But really, realistically, in the pie, my energy was gone.
You just didn't have anything left to give.
I had nothing left to give. And he didn't either, because he was with his pie was the children. And so neither one of us had anything to give, and we had to make those sacrifices. What I thought we had to make those sacrifices. And so I think about that. I don't know if we didn't put all our energy into the business, or if I didn't make those sacrifices for our lifestyle, and we had never had any joy. I mean, there was no vacations. There was never any joy. I remember my therapist, one of the first things she said is, it's like, no, you can have both. And I was like, oh, no, you can't. Like, that's why I truly believe that you probably can't have both. I don't know. I wish you could.
I think you can. I think you can. You just have to have an understanding, and you have to be able to give a little. You know what I mean? Like, you take a little bit of that pie and just bring it over. But you have to give up a little bit, or delay success maybe a little bit.
It's definitely going to be a delayed success.
But in order to keep everything, sometimes a delay is okay.
Well, no, I mean, in hindsight, I would definitely have rather kept my marriage. Yeah, that's in hindsight.
I'm just saying it's possible. I'm not saying
no, I
that.
think it's possible. I don't know. Like, if you read, we talked about this on the last podcast. If you read what Phil Knight did to build his business, Nike, even me, I'm like, oh my God, I would never do that. Like, it was insanity. That what he did was just like, took a pair of cojones, like, just gigantic. I mean, he just, like, that's the thing. Like, if you got to make a choice, what do you want? What is success to you?
You're always going to sacrifice something.
You always have to sacrifice something, but you got to it's how big of sacrifice you're going to make to achieve what you want. So again, but now I achieved what I wanted, and I'm going like, oh, that's not really what I wanted. So I'm pulling back and now I'm able to do it. But I don't know if you can really get there without getting there.
Yeah.
Get
Don't
to that
you think
realization.
The things that you want evolve and change with time,
Absolutely.
too?
Change with your age,
Yeah.
change with your circumstances, changes with everything when you realize. But like a lot of people, when they look from the outside of what I have and they think that that's what they want, but they don't see, they only see the material things.
They're not going to see the sacrifice.
Yeah.
That you've
Oh,
had
they
to do.
definitely don't see the sacrifice. They definitely don't see any of that. And I struggled with feeling guilty for what I made and what I achieved because of people. I thought, oh gosh, the girls working for me, they don't want to. They're the ones doing all the work now, but they don't realize how much work I
The
had to.
foundation that you
The
laid.
foundation that I built, like either with bringing clients in, and
Yep.
a lot of them have gone off to try to do their own thing, and
Yep.
most of them have called me back for their
Yeah.
jobs, which is fine. But it's just like, I just don't think that people realize the sacrifice that you make. And again, if you find that balance, but I don't know, it would take somebody very special
It's
to
very hard
realize
find
that balance
I think
It's
it,
very hard.
before it actually happens.
I feel like
It has
part
to.
of the reason for my divorce was as much time as I dedicated into my salon and
Oh, yeah.
being there and time away from the home and time away from my marriage and my children. Like, I think that when you're dedicating that much time to a business, it's going to have collateral damage. And a lot of times
That's
it
exactly
is the
what it is.
relationships.
It's collateral damage. And you feel trapped, and that's the worst way to feel. So once you feel like you have choices, yeah, I have choices right now, again, which is great. So I could go back in and hustle at my business. But then what am I being paid for that hustle? Get money, and you just go, okay, like what else? But again, I don't want much. So maybe somebody else that might be,
Yeah.
they want that yacht.
Yep.
I actually want that yacht. I do want that yacht. I do want it's a catamaran. It's an electric catamaran. I would really like that yacht. But now I can still, like, I feel like, okay, if I want that yacht, I could get it. Do I want that yacht, or do I want to go spend time with my son in Barcelona?
I was going to say, how much sacrifice do you have to make
Yeah.
for that yacht? Is it
So
worth that
is it worth
payoff?
it? So now I definitely believe I could have it. Of course it could. Take me a couple of years to get that yacht.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful yacht.
but you have new priorities now. Now you.
I have different priorities. But I feel good that I can make that choice. Again, my success is knowing that I have choices.
Yeah.
So I have a choice to make, and I made it, and I feel good about that choice. I think that people are so unhappy when they don't feel like they have any choices.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize how many choices they actually do have.
Oh,
Though
they have
either
everything as a choice.
exactly. So you were talking about how like people don't understand your success and what you've gone through to get it. One of the worst things somebody can say to me is "must be nice."
Oh, oof.
Oh, I hate it. Or they talk about somebody else like, my sister was like, so it was we were talking about Trump and his kids, and she's just like, yeah, they probably just went to good schools, and I was like, it takes a lot more than that to develop who they are,
Oh, a lot.
and
more.
like it has nothing to do with the money they make. And she kept making the comment like, the rich, like it's such a small-minded thing.
Yeah, small-minded.
You don't see the opportunities that you do have.
And we all have opportunities. We all have opportunities. And I remember, one thing is like, I'm a female business owner, right? And I never ever thought about it. Like, I really never thought about it. I was on a panel in UNLV it was like a Shark Tank thing, and I was like one of the sharks. And then they had a questionnaire afterwards, and they were like, so how has the struggle been as a female business owner? I was like, oh, I've never actually even thought about that. Because I never made myself feel small-minded, like, oh, that didn't happen for me because I'm a woman. If I was a man, that could happen for me. And
That type of mindset doesn't get you.
it
where
doesn't
wanna
get
go.
you anywhere, because then you're a prisoner to somebody else.
Mhm.
And so when people would come to our house or see our cars, the first thing they would ask me is, oh, what does your husband do for a living? Every single time. Every single time. And it used to bother me, but again, it doesn't bother me anymore. But
Especially when you just realize that people just can't see past their own
Nose.
tunnel.
Yeah,
basically.
tunnel.
They have like a tunnel,
I don't
and they
even
can't
know
see
if
anything
it's like a
outside of it.
tunnel as opposed to we're programmed from a young age
Oh,
that
yeah.
usually the successful nuclear family is a man who has a really good job and the woman who's at home like taking care of the family and the kids.
Well, I'm not even just talking about like tradition. I'm
Mhm.
more talking about like just in general with people with success. The people that don't have success and that have this like very narrow mind are kind of in this tunnel where they don't see past that, and then they make stupid comments like
Yeah,
that.
but if I walked up to her house and I didn't know she's just somebody that I'm meeting and I see this big
You would
beautiful
probably
home,
thought the same.
my initial instinct would be, wow, her husband must be like
Well-
successful, blah blah blah.
With OnlyFans, guys, these
Oh,
women are
Yeah,
making
yeah.
money. I'm just saying, I do not think like
So
that.
maybe the next generation.
Well, nobody's
generation will
mistaking me
have-
for an OnlyFans person. Trust me, they're gonna ask me
Well,
about my
we're gonna
husband.
sell tampons.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff,
that's
you know?
right.
Oh my god. That being said,
Really?
ladies, I feel like we do have to
New business
wrap up
plan.
this conversation.
No.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I'll let them
Oh,
continue
Lord.
with their business plan for
She
OnlyFans.
doesn't want to join. I don't know
No.
why. Just don't. Just gonna sell underwear and tampons.
No.
No.
I do not.
Um,
Is there anything that you want to say in closing, Lauren? Like if there is, because
How about one piece of business advice?
yeah, I was gonna say really quickly just before we wrap up, because you bringing up the UNLV and being like a female business owner, like I didn't really think of it that way either. But there are a lot of women that will look up to you and what you have made happen, and the success that you have had with your business. What advice would you give?
Oh, I guess the advice that I would give most is first to listen to what the business books. Like you can educate yourself. I taught myself photography. I taught myself business.
Yeah.
So you don't need a school to teach you any of that. If you want to go to school, great. More power to you. It's going to be expensive. You're going to have student loans. When in this day and age, and I taught myself photography before YouTube was a big thing. Okay, so that's one. So before it was huge, and so now with all the resources, you can literally teach yourself anything. The E-Myth is a book about this. If you don't like reading, it's literally super small. You can get on Audibles. I would definitely say that, and I would say that you could do anything that you wanted to do. I know that sounds so cliche, but like I think that is my superpower, is knowing that I have the ability to do anything that I want.
Putting action to it. You put action to these things that you're learning
Of
too.
course, yeah.
Because a lot of people will read the books and think stuff should just happen.
No, yeah, you got to put action to it, and you really have to put action to it. You have to be disciplined, and probably the best way to be disciplined is a thing called time blocking. And that is the biggest thing. It's not a to-do list. I go in the beginning of the day. I only check my email once a day at 1:30. So if you email me, that's why. And I don't get back to you right away. I don't check my communications throughout the day. I time block. So time blocking is putting it in your calendar, because one thing, when you're a business owner, you're so overwhelmed with all these things that you have to do. Especially if you have ADHD, which most entrepreneurs have ADHD or dyslexia, whatever it is, which I do not medicate myself for that at all, because I believe it's my superpower.
Oh, I think it's great. It's
wonderful.
super great quality.
Yeah, it's super great. I do nervous system regulation that helps it if I need to, but I love my ADHD. Like, it's
Me too.
rad. And but time blocking, because that's the type of people who usually start businesses, is probably one of the best advices, because there's tons of time in your week. There's tons of time in your day, and when you can visually see and move stuff around, okay, I didn't get this done because I got distracted, then you know too, oh, hey, these people are distracting. The first thing that people make you do, the first thing my coach made me do when I did the E-Myth coaching, was clean my desk and my office. I was like, oh my God, I'm paying $700 an hour for her to tell me to clean my office, or it was $850 an hour. Literally, I was like, what did I just do? And that was like, it's so important to clear your desk and to be organized with time blocking. Those
It kind
are the
of
two
clears your
things.
mind. Just having that organization. Nothing's
Yeah.
around you that's like out of place. You're not searching for anything because you know where everything is.
You know where everything is. So that's really important. But again, You could do anything. If you wanted to start $1 billion business, you could start $1 billion business.
Just have to do it.
You just got to do it. But you got to read. You got to read because those books, like they've already done it. Like Michael Gerber has a huge business. Like just do it. Like the
YouTube videos too.
Yeah, YouTube
you can
videos.
get a lot of free education off of YouTube.
You can get so much free education. Free education is amazing. And then when you do start your business, you got to write your processes and systems. And I use a company called Trainual, and that was life changing as far as being able to grow my business. So before, when I had it, so I did have these processes, but they were like all around everywhere. Like, okay, this person's hiring a photographer. Let me send them this PDF for this. And there was never any organization with training. And when I found Trainual, I was able to put all my systems and processes into one spot. And so, for example, if somebody hires in Dallas a photographer, all they do as their business owner, they put in their email and they assign them a role photographer. And then that role has had all the training material that I've done for everybody. And it just, bloop, now they're trained the same way that everybody else is trained. And I'm doing the trainings, which is just me talking in videos and having everything. But so that's cool. I think that has been a huge part of our success. And one of the biggest downfalls to a lot of these businesses that when I talk to people is, there's no process. Oh, everybody does it different. Oh, no, you got to be, and you'll learn that in the E-Myth. And actually the owner of Trainual wrote a book, and the foreword is by Michael Gerber. And I thought, oh yeah, that's rad. That's why I love Trainual so much, because I love E-Myth so much. But that is huge. I mean, you could do it. This could be franchised. And then you could open up 1 million of these as long as everybody's, and I believe that you could only do that with an online operations manual.
Talk about business meetings. We still haven't had that one.
Yeah, you could do, I mean, Trainual is amazing. Trainual is the coolest thing, even if you have a small business with a few employees, because what happened, so for me, when I was so worried I was going to lose employees all the time. Like that was a big thing. No, that's why I went out of my way, and it was just so nerve-wracking when you were going to lose an employee. But now it's like, no, because my training is super streamlined. Like it used to be, I didn't let anybody shoot for like a year after training them. Now it's like, okay, 2 weeks, you good, girl? Yeah, because everything, they just get the Trainual, they do it. I don't even have to train them anymore. It takes a lot of time up front. I work on my Trainual a lot, so much. But once it's done, it is done. And when you want to go and sell that business and you show them that, we had somebody that wasn't really interested. Oh, we had a broker at one of our locations. She was going to sell it. She showed it to the broker. He was like, oh, can you send me a Trainual? Because she was talking about this training. He looked at the Trainual and wanted to buy the business. And it was just like a small little tiny bit of the training. Yeah. So if you focus on those two things, you're fine. And just step out of the business. Work on your business, not in your business. If that's what you want. You want a job, you want to own a job, perfectly fine. You want to own a business, work on, not in. But working on requires you to work in. So that you can write the training with your sole purpose of writing training. But that is the best advice. I just gave 5 of my favoriteest advice. Even though you said one thing. But there's a lot.
Yeah, it's
but
big.
those would be the top.
They all kind of intertwine.
They all intertwine. E-Myth, Trainual, time blocking. Yeah. That would be the...
Clean your desk.
Clean your house. Make your bed. I make my bed every day. Make your bed. Yeah. And believe in yourself.
Put away your laundry. Now we're just going to keep naming
no. My maid does that for me, thank God.
I was going to say, people are checking out now. They're like, never mind.
I don't like this advice. Well, never mind. You got to want to do it.
Yeah.
You got to want to do it.
That's what I think with everything
that choice.
that you said and what she said is, with all the great advice you just gave, is just putting action behind that. Actually doing it.
And if you want to do it, do it. But you have choices. You can either, I think people are like, oh, I want this, but I can't. No, you have a choice. You want it, you can do it. Yeah.
There's no I can't. It's I don't want to.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that to get there. If you're willing to do that to get there, you're cool. But having that choice, but as soon as it becomes a choice, you decide you don't want it, you're all of a sudden just a little more happier in your circumstances that you have. Because it is all a choice.
Just be honest with yourself. Do you want it? Do you not want it? That's what it comes down to.
That's all it comes
It's
down
never
to.
I can't.
No, I definitely don't believe I can. So if you guys see me in the Olympics on the curling team,
I'll be
it's
waiting.
because that's
Not
what I
sprinting though,
wanted.
because running sucks.
Yeah, no, not the sprinting. I'm gonna do the. I don't even think I have the energy to do the brush part. I'm gonna be the one just like sliding it and looking. That's what I'm gonna
Be
be.
watching out, people. You'll see her in the Olympics.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called. I gotta find that out first. Whatever
Yeah.
that person does.
Can we thank you for coming
Oh,
on?
thank you guys for
and
having me
giving
again.
advice to anybody watching
Yes.
and just talking about being a business owner and being a mom, and hopefully we can get you back once you get back from
Oh,
Barcelona.
Even if it's not for a podcast, we're grabbing
Yeah.
pizza.
Oh,
Yeah.
for pizza.
Business
Well, definitely,
meeting.
definitely.
Business meeting.
Business meeting at Setabello. Oh, literally, if anybody wants to go to Setabello, it's like literally the best pizza. There's one in Henderson. There's one on Fort Apache and Sahara in Village Square right next to my studio, which is very dangerous because that's all I want to do is eat at Setabello.
So go check her out at Lala Photography. You might
.com.
not get to see her,
Oh,
but
yeah.
all of her ladies are wonderful.
Yes.
Pictures amazing. And again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ladies.
Thank you.